Alright, so what we have here is a Shaggy Mane mushroom. As you can tell, the shape of this is kind of unique. You don't see a lot of mushrooms quite like this. It's got these upturned kind of scales on the cap. That's a dead giveaway of what it is. If you can see here, down at the bottom of this, the stalk or the stem, there's a ring where the veil used to be connected. And the veil is what connects the cap to the stem when it's small, and that ring's kind of a dead giveaway of what this is as well. Now, one of the most obvious factors here is the overall shape. See, it's pretty tall and cylindrical. You add that shape in with these upturned scales, and that's a pretty good way to identify these Shaggy Manes. If you can tell the soil that it's growing in here, it's rocky. It's actually, it's kind of poor soil. It's definitely not high-end gardening soil by any means. So here's a little better look at it. Now this is pretty much in its prime. It hasn't started to auto-digest yet. And auto-digesting is something that these inky caps do. Now the common name for this is Shaggy Mane. It is not inky cap. Don't get that confused. I'll show you a little bit later in a book why I refer to this as an inky cap, but the common name is definitely Shaggy Mane. It is not synonymous with inky cap. Okay, so it's kind of hard to see here, but the stem is white and it's hollow, and there's fibrous material in there. The fibers kind of run lengthwise. Now lower on the stem here, it'll be solid, but higher up it's hollow like this, and it's white. Now that stem will taper from the bottom up, so it'll be a little bit thinner towards the top. And by auto-digest, what I mean is, the older this mushroom gets, after they pop out of the ground, about 2 days later, this thing will go from a beautiful mushroom like this to a black gooey mess, and the only thing that'll be left is this top part here, the top part of the cap, and this down here will turn into black goo, and the black is the spores, and that's how they reproduce. They'll auto-digest into that black gooey substance, and the spores will spread out. So this is when you want to eat them, before they've turned black like that and into goo. And once they start turning black, they don't taste as good, so you want to get them before that. Now this one, if you can see the gills in there. Now these gills aren't branched like a chanterelle mushroom. They're all individual, so there's one next to another, next to another, next to another, but they don't connect together. And you can see up here, it's a nice white. That's the delicious stuff. It's starting to auto-digest just a little bit here. It's kind of a reddish brown color, and after this will start turning black after a while. So you don't have much time to eat these once you do pick them. You've got maybe 24 hours, unless you say put them in a glass of cold water in the fridge, or just put them in the fridge. And even if the bottom of the cap does start to turn black, you can just cut that part off. I want to clear up the inky cap thing. There's a family of mushrooms known as Caprinicae, common name inky caps. Now the Shaggy Manes belong to that family. Here you go. There's a Shaggy Mane, and their scientific name is Caprinus comatus, and commonly known as Shaggy Mane. Now within this family, there's also a mushroom known as the inky cap, Caprinus atramentarius. Now, even though it's the same family, it's a different species. This is a different mushroom. So there's no real side effects with the Shaggy Mane, but with this inky cap there is. Even though supposedly you can eat it, if you drink alcohol within like 48 hours of eating this mushroom, it can cause a peculiar type of intoxication. Now that's a biological side effect, and to me it's kind of a red flag. I don't like to eat mushrooms where there's any kinds of red flags whatsoever, so I avoid that. Now supposedly this is a look-alike mushroom. the inky cap is supposed to be a lookalike to the Shaggy Mane, but I don't believe that. And I'll show you why. Here's the Shaggy Mane. Looks just like the one we had outside. And here is the inky cap. Totally different. You don't have the upturned scales. The shape is different. Just not the same mushroom whatsoever. And I think part of that comes from people using the name synonymously. They'll call a Shaggy Mane an inky cap, which, even though that's sort of correct, it's in the same family, it's not. It's not the same mushroom. So, if you have any doubts whatsoever, don't eat it. Always double, triple check your information. You don't want to lose your life over eating a mushroom. So, try to find a local expert, somebody that knows what they're doing, that has eaten these multiple times, and always double, triple check your information. You don't want to die over something silly. They show up in the fall time, a lot of times after heavy rain. You can find them just about anywhere. I find them a lot around gravel driveways. They even show up in urban areas, like in people's yards and stuff. So the Shaggy Mane is a great mushroom to pick. They're easily available. They appear virtually all over the world, from like North America to New Zealand, and they taste great. So I hope this helps you guys out. Please hit like and subscribe, and good luck mushroom hunting.